Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live Q&A in the ChatGPT Ads course. I'm super excited to catch up with you and with everyone to see what you've been working on, what you're up to, what questions you have. All right, so let's dive right into the support questions. Let me just make sure my audio is fine. Yeah, seems like you can hear me. And I quickly want to double check on YouTube that I am. Okay, beautiful. So let me jump right into the community to see the feedbacks that we have as well as the questions. Okay, so please find me here. And let's see what we have as in submissions. So we do have a few ads here to check out. And we also have one question coming over from Grow with Evelyn, so that's fine. And then we also have a few questions in the community. So let me catch up on those. Okay. So let's come in here with the new posts. Okay, first one is from Heather. Anyone done AI video ads that you can share how they are working? Curious how to get the first 3-second attention. So I can recommend a school community that's still super affordable, which is called AI Filmmaking. And these are some of the coolest AI ads that I have seen. And it's really, really cool. Like they all create AI movies in here and AI ads in here. So this community currently is $5, so a complete steal. And I think if you want to get into making AI ads, I think this is definitely a really, really interesting community to check out. So I'm going to share my link here. These are the coolest AI video ads I've seen. Check out these ads. And I think they are also doing really well for the community owner here. So that's definitely something to explore. I did also use AI in my recent video ads in the following format that I just started to do basically voiceover ads. So for that, I'm using CapCut. And here you can see it's pretty cool. What I particularly love doing with it is to just alter my voice. So you can upload your own voice in here. And I just record myself with Loom and then I upload it. So let me see which voice is that. Okay, so you can take the voice here and then you can go to the voice changer and you can change it to, whatever you want. So for example, gingerbread. So this is the current voice. And now it changes it. So okay, and so this is actually all based on an original audio from me that I recorded. So this was my original one. And so what I really love about this is you can just come in here and you can also just enhance your own voice. For example, with the 3D. So it sounds immediately better. I'm not sure if you can hear this. But it's really cool. So you can change to different people. You can enhance it. You can make it sound like you're on a podcast. So this has really been something that I loved to play with and use. The different AI voiceovers and playing with that. And I find it's, for me, the easiest to produce the video creatives if I first have the script for it. And then I just time B-roll, right, or visuals to that script. So I just launched another ad for my B2C community yesterday. which is really cool. I went through this today on the experience worker. So my cost kept going up as I started, increasing the budget. And so I knew that I need to get out of the mock-up ads. And so, for example, this ad is a typical mock-up, but it's in that sense also an AI enhanced ad because, for example, the logo here is made with ChatGPT, of course, right? And then this in here, all of the banners in here. So I just had the help to enhance like a traditional mock-up image with AI, but because the image ads, they have a relatively small audience compared to short form video, my frequency was already getting relatively high. So when we're looking at the maximum of this, and I'm still very grateful, right? Because this is going to a $7 community with 0% churn as of this moment. But you can see the overall frequency since I started the ads this month already started to really come up high. And so I started and the cost started to creep up, right? So here you can see it started to go up almost by the day. So there we were still at €9. Then we came up to 13, 18, 24. And then yesterday I started to introduce this. And basically now I'm getting into a different type of audience, and it also fuels this campaign, right? So more people are clicking here, but fewer convert. So here you can see the conversion rate of this is 48 clicks and 3 purchases. So we have 3 by 48. So we have about 6% conversion rate. And then we have this here, 7 out of 39 clicks, right? So the click here is much more expensive, but it's also more qualified visual. So we have 39, 7 divided by 39. So here this says almost 18% conversion rate from this ad. But of course, I have fewer people available that directly are interested in, boom, this is exactly what the offer is, and here's exactly what's included, and this is exactly how much it costs. Obviously, the audience for that is smaller, but this campaign is now getting me more people onto the about page for cheaper, and then they get re-hit with this ad that converts better. So, and how I've done this video ad, because they're the bane of my existence, and I really love images, but to scale, we need to play all kind of different formats. The way I did this was I started with the voiceover and cleaned that up first, and then I just added B-roll clips that underline what I say. So this was just, I tell the story of, I'm really glad I fought with my husband on that day, because without that, I would have never found my AI identity coach, right? Which is what this new community is about. And then you can just see I timed it with B-roll. And this was also made here in CapCut. And I just really tried to, you can see these are like 1 to a maximum 2 seconds long. So there's a lot of jump cuts, and it keeps it visually engaging. The longest sequence here is the one of us dancing in the rain in the wedding. So I think one of the easiest ways, if you've not dabbled into video ads before, is to first record the script and then line it up with the messaging. And I actually did something cool today that I want to show you that might be a great way for you to get to a script. So where do I have this? So we have the UGC creator. Oh yeah, there. So this was for an ad for Secret Weapon PLR. And again, it's easier for me to create the video ads when I have the script for them first. So I just let it research my offer. So I said, please research Secret Weapon PLR. What exactly is it? What buying personas are buying it? What is what are its features and benefits, what makes it stand out, what seems to be the USP, how does it exactly work. So I just used the search function here to search the web, and basically it crawled my own sales page and all of the feedback that it could find. So here you see the most is just from the sales page itself. And then I said, now if Secret Weapon was to hire UGC creators, who should it look for specifically? Please come up with 10 distinct UGC personas that would be able to present and sell it in a unique way because of their perspective, experience with the product and the audience. So now I'm basically inventing fictional UGC creators to get different angles on the hooks that I can use, right? So for example, the overworked solopreneur, the launch strategist, the Etsy template seller, the virtual assistant, the community builder. And so then now we want to have each of them present us with a script independently from each other. We want them to work out and explain a video script for short form video. They use the script to introduce Secret Weapon to their audience. Each script needs to be complete and accurate and really tuning into their unique perspective, as in what they would highlight and how they would explain it. Go comprehensive, right? So you can do this with your community and with your offer as well. How would others, like spokespeople, UGC creators, sell this? And then it came up with these different angles. And out of the angles, I liked two, but I first let it say, okay, which ideas do you think are the ones with the most mass market appeal? What angles in here are the most promising ones? And then it basically summarized the angles here. And I said, okay, so we take these angles. Give me 5 explainer video structures that work extremely well for short form right now. Then it gave me the formulas, problem, agitate, solve, before, after bridge, hook, FAQ, storytelling case study. And then I decided that I want to go with the problem, agitate, solve here. And then we basically worked them out. And I decided that I want to just keep with the first angle, make it more comprehensive. And then I basically got this script that also became the copy. Let me see, where's my copy? Here, and it also became the script for the ad, right? And then once I have the script and I have the voiceover, I can now put different visuals to it, and I find this is the easiest one to create those videos. And you can even, with CapCut, have videos made with, you can start with the text and the script to generate a video with the images. So we can also try this now. This so far has only been trash. But we can just try it while I go and review some of your work here. Okay, so now we put create. It's creating the script, the voiceover, and then the media. So we just let it run in the background. So I've been enjoying working with CapCut on those video ads, and they are great. Once you have validated your offer with the image ads, it's great to expand into other formats, and video is one of the ones with the most inventory, so it's definitely worth trying it. All right, so let me see if you guys have any questions here in the meantime. Hi there, good to see you. Hi, Ray. Hi, Karina. Can you offer any advice on what you think my offer is worth, price point? Let me know and I'll let you know what it is. Absolutely, just drop it in the chat and I'm super happy to give you an assessment as far as I'm capable of doing so. Okay, while I wait for that coming in, let me come back in here. And I also gave some, all right, let me just say, I also shared some feedback around the 2-minute mark. Okay, so send all the details to the GWE, but notice there's tomorrow's a Q&A. My problem, ad spend up to 16, no lead, I paused things. Okay, let's get into the video feedbacks here. Let me just pause the screen share so I'm not revealing anyone. Okay, Melanie, where are you? I got you. let's check out. Do you find that now at your stage or community building, there's more emphasis on ads? So I am an ads first person, right? So I recently started a secret new community. Let me just. So with secret, I mean, I started a completely new pixel. I didn't use my email list or any of that. Obviously, you can't keep everyone out because people recognize me from the ad. But I did start it from scratch and I did start it with no audience. And my go-to was actually to build it with ads. So this is this community now. I grew it to 500 members with the free community before I put it paid. That was ads straight. And then I switched it to a sales campaign optimizing for purchase. That was also ads straight. And here you can see I turned on the purchase ads on the 5th of June, right? And so now it's the 17th and this has basically been ads, right? And the reason why I do it and why I've been doing it is ever since I started this online game, when I first started, I did have my ad agency, right? And I had my baby son, and I wanted to build this up in a sustainable way. And I knew that I don't have the time and capacity to get really, really good at organic content, which, can be a full-time job for people. And I just need something that works for me while I work on other things. So I'm always coming from an ads first perspective because the more I can automate, the more I can buy back my time and deploy it where I'm already getting paid. So at points, I had a smaller audience on social media than I had a customer base. And for me, that's okay, right? Because I like to build things while I get paid to build them. And so I'm a person that is saying ads all the way, also early, especially because it allows you to validate your offer towards cold traffic. So you build a completely different offer when you relying on selling it through your personality and the parasocial relationships, because then you don't really have a razor blade offer that people want without wanting you, right? And when you create something that people want without wanting you, it's just much more scalable. And I've just been through phases with product to market fit in my business. And I mean, I can show you what this looks like. I just know how life-changing this can be when you really develop an offer that has true, genuine product to market fit. So that's what I'm always aiming for. That's also why I would start with the ads right away. So, for example, one of the students in the Experience Worker Bootcamp that's following along. Oh, I can't log in right now, unfortunately, into Stripe. Maybe we can see it somewhere in a screenshot. Do take them frequently. So one of the students and experience workers started her free community, and right off the gate, she's getting $11 cost per registration for a group member. So that means that she is fighting an uphill battle right from the beginning, right? So even if she can get more people into her community, she will always overpay because she doesn't have something that people want. And I'm a huge fan of positioning myself where people naturally flow towards, what they naturally gravitate towards. And ads just let you find that out a lot quicker than you relying on organic, just because the parasocial relationship is so strong. Let me just see, do I have a recent screenshot anywhere here of my Stripe account? There you go. So here you can see this dip is mainly because we started to sell on Skool, and the Skool payments, they don't come in on Stripe, right? So you see this. But here you see, this was me getting things off the ground and then hitting product to market fit. And that's the benefit of starting with ads early. It's because you can so much quicker iterate and test your offers until you have something people really, really want, right? And then the opportunity of that is just insane. So that's why I also like ads right from the beginning. I also would like some feedback on my ad copy. I posted it in the school screen. Perfect. I'm going to check it right away. 4 website templates to choose from, 360 social media template post, 360 video prompts, email sequence, 90-day content calendar, mini social media masterclass, startup guide, sales script. Okay, so this sounds like a content solution. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of with content solutions is that we are moving away. So when I entered the market in 2020, you could sell a ton of content template and Instagram templates and content calendars that was super in demand. And then it kind of wore off a little bit because people had purchased a ton of stuff and never used it, right? So it lost the character of the new opportunity. And then that was kind of revoked a little bit as Reels came around, right? So that was a new content format, a new opportunity. So we do see different type of short form offers really driving still, and a little bit a revival of carousels that are in like a new design storytelling kind of way, especially because Instagram also changed the carousel format. So we do see content offers that perform particularly well there. We do have different AI content solution, but those need to be niche specific to be really perceived as a new opportunity, and you kind of have to have your own content success story with it, right? And so people typically look at accounts that have 10K plus followers and that grew relatively quickly because people are still focused very much on the vanity metrics, unless you can explain how it's a different type of content, right? So for example, I had success with a content offer that was specifically around pre-launch content, right? So it's a niche in itself. And other than that, people really, really gravitate right now towards storytelling in content, right? So cinematic, shot list type of offers. So that's also what's in demand right now. So I cannot 100% assess the desirability of this offer. The only thing that I can tell you is the more generic and AI-based this offer is, the lower the value, perceived value, the more and the less it's rooted in you having actual success and rapid growth with the content. The more you actually have based this on your own rapid growth formula, the more niche specific it is, the more it features short form formats, storytelling, and nicely designed carousels, the higher you can charge for it. So there's like a spectrum along this, and really think this is such a competitive market, people teaching you content, so you want to find your niche with it, right? The more you can carve out a unique positioning, the more it's worth. Thank you. Ads first sounds awesome. I really wish to get them working. I wish I had met you, Egan. Thank you so much. And it is a journey with ads as well. I don't want to make this look like, oh, it's so easy to do that. Let me check your ad now, my lovely, and see where we have that in the community. Okay, so Melanie's ad, we check in a second. Do we have your ad here? There you go. Okay. So I created ads for my freebie 5-day vibration reset audio drops. So here also, my love, the nature of a freebie is one piece character. So you will sell this, and also a freebie needs to be sold. You will sell this better if you give them one reset audio, right? So the smaller, more consumable, the easier to convert because it's less explanatory. That's kind of the rule of thumb with a freebie. So stop scrolling to stay high vibe. Stop scrolling to stay high vibe to manifest what you want. Okay, I'm not sure. Is this what people do? Could the reason you feel stuck be that you're forcing alignment instead of just letting go of what's weighing you down? So I think this is like a double hook that I don't fully understand. So I would go with one or the other. So I would go with either stop scrolling, it pushes you out of alignment, and without you noticing, you stop manifesting the things that you want, right? Or I would go with the second one and ask them, could the reason why you feel stuck with manifesting be because you try to force alignment instead of letting go? I personally like that a lot more. I'm Patricia, former Abraham Hicks translator for over 10 years. Oh, wow, super good social proof. Love that. The number one struggle seen with my community, trying to stay high vibe all the time to align with the vortex and finally manifest. Very interesting. I've never heard of this problem, but I think this is so cool that you have this very specific insight. That's why I created the 5-day vibration reset audio drops for spiritual seekers like you who've done the inner work but still feel weighed down by doubt, emotional spirals, or pressure to feel good constantly. If you can have a 20-minute thing and then you upsell them the 5-day reset for $5, I think it would serve you better. I'm so excited to share a practical way to lift the vibration of your desire today, not someday. So, you have so much social proof that you could even almost turn it into the hook, right? So, after 10 years of Abraham Hicks translator, 120,000 followers, and 30 million views across social media, I know that the number one struggle of my community is this. This is why I created this 20-minute recording that helps you reset it. And here's exactly what you get. Because this can be really, really short if you condense it. Five days is also something. The reason why I don't love high volume consumables is because people really super easily fall off of them, and because they're not self-explanatory, so we need to add a lot of text, and that goes right over people's heads. You're doing yourself the biggest favor if you just leverage all that gorgeous proof that you have and all of your beautiful accomplishments and say, hey, as a Abraham Hicks translator of 10 years with 120,000 followers, who has 23 million views across all social platforms, I know the number one thing my community struggles with is that they try to stay high vibe all the time, but they actually struggle to manifest because of that, right? So I've created a 20-minute, 10-minute, 12-minute, 8-minute, however long recording for you that allows you to let go instead of forcing alignment. Click the link below to get it now. So if you can condense it, you're doing yourself such a favor because you make it much easier to consume, and you can just lead with that social proof and that one problem you identified that you're solving quickly. And then you can, even tripwire the other recordings that you have. Am I enough? Am I doing it right? Why is it taking so long? Vibration reset, free audio drops. This I think is really, really gorgeous. I like this as well because of the steep contrast. I think this one is most in alignment with what you're saying. So I would potentially use this. And of course, you can animate this as well, have a voiceover, have an audio going if you want to take it a step further. But I think if you really simplify the copy and then run this and have as the headline free vibration reset audio, or have it not free, say new. And then on this, we add a banner that says free, or we add like a little, you know, you just add a little. Somewhere here. It needs to be a bit prettier than what I just did, but you get the concept. Then that's what I would do for your ad. Okay, so what if the client community needs hand-holding? Otherwise, I would have to make a very extensive course in order to get started. I think it's okay to start with micro solutions, to start with small things. And I would not create an extensive course without people. I like to pre-sell courses, so I like to map them out and then plan out the delivery and then actually co-create with people, because then I create what's actually needed. And of course, the more valuable and the more desirable the transformation is, very often the more hand-holding people need, because if people were able to solve it through pure knowledge, then they would already research that on Google and watch the videos and use ChatGPT, right? Often there is skill acquisition needed, there's permission needed, there's proximity to you and how you're doing things needed to inspire and motivate and help them to manage certain beliefs by you role modeling. So this is where you create a lot of value. I think a good opportunity is to identify micro solutions you can sell right away, right? So you look at the overall transformation and you just break out the problem chunk that you solve completely. And another way is to pre-sell the whole thing, do it with people, so it really is a co-creational effort and you're closing all of those gaps. And that's the most likely in which you can turn something into complete self-study after, when you co-create with people. I believe that for my niche, it can be hard to scale based on a product. Many of my members stay because of our live calls and connection with me and other members. I do agree with that. I think there are certain topics that would work really beautifully as a self-liquidating offer for you. So for example, parentified daughters might want to do some work around reparenting themselves. And, there could be a micro solution, as in clarity around how you want to show up for yourself in the reparenting process, right? So that can be a specific workbook, a shadow work journal, and exercises specifically for parentified daughters, right? So there's beautiful, validated products and solutions that you can just niche in a little bit more. And I would look into shadow work niches, reparenting niches, and then also typical therapy niches, right? So therapy bundles, self coaching, self therapy bundles, in the sense of worksheet vaults and exercises that they can do themselves. Those are also in high demand, and they can beautifully upsell into the community. So I wouldn't say, and that's normal. So when you have a front-end offer versus when you have a community, it fulfills different needs, right? When you have a community as a key value driver, a lot of people will just stay for that community, but they still want to have access to that knowledge when they need it, right? So on the front end, a reason why they buy is the access to that knowledge, but then the reason why they stay is because they experience the community. Selling community is hard because people have to experience the community to understand why they want to stay. So it's still worth having knowledge-based, information-based offers on the front end, on the sales pages for your communities, or for your front-end offers that you sell before you sell the community. And then they stay for the people, then they stay for the connection, right? So it's a retention factor, and it can also be a factor that can handle objections, right, around the quality of the information, around your trustworthiness, because communities signal that, right, that you are going to be there for the long haul, that you are doing this with a certain level of rigor and integrity. So they are basically reducing the perceived risk on the sales page, but people then stay only once they have experienced it, typically. I talk to so many health coaches every week, and they all are stuck as being a success health coach trying to fill the gap. Give them that step-by-step guide on everything they need. Okay, this is beautiful. So it's for health coaches specifically. That makes it a more niche down offer, right? And then if, for example, you don't have, let me just see what else you have. Not really focused too much on social media side of things. It's more to save time, launch the website and business in 48 hours. Okay, I like that. I think launching or overhauling, right? Because like you said, a lot of people are already in business and they're stuck. They feel like they don't move fast enough. So I would position it as a start or reset button. So I think that is worth a lot. How much you want to charge for it will depend on how much access is there to them, right? So they can do it in 48 hours. If you sell this as a self-study, something they do by themselves, I potentially would use that as a front-end offer leading later on in a community. And we want to put some of our best stuff to the front end for some of the most ridiculously low cost, just so we can get the lowest customer acquisition cost possible, right? So in that sense, it might be worth a lot more, but to you, it's worth the most if you price it really, really affordably so you can get a volume of clients. That's what I like to do with solutions like that. And then if you say, oh, this is actually a done with me offer, so I think this could even be a VIP weekend for $3,000, then it depends on how much access to you, right? So you can scope that and you can put it into different containers depending on how much access to you. Or maybe it's a guided group experience, then it can also be a weekend pass for $297. In this weekend, we're getting all of this done hands-on together. But I think the smartest thing probably would be to package it into a really affordable front-end offer. Try to have a self-liquidating offer where you're truly breaking even on the ad spend, and then on the thank you page, you enroll them into your community where you can offer them ongoing support. What's your recommendation for charging an upfront cost and low monthly big head long tail from running ads so it's cold traffic? I don't love big head long tail. Yeah, I don't love it. I only do something that you could consider big head long tail. I do have an alumni offer for people who purchased certain of my products that were a little bit, I mean, they were $770 for $777 for a full year and a full course. And so for them, after they complete this, I have an alumni offer, which is basically an all access pass to almost everything I create for $77 a month. That's the only time when I do this. But you have to think that the idea is good, right? I have a high cost per purchase, so I just have to put a high upfront cost, then that covers the purchase, and then I get the monthly payments after that. But it flips the volume equation on the head. I like to get a lot of volume on the front end and then get my profit through retention, through customer lifetime value, through the retention and upgrades, right? And people staying in my world rather than gating my world as much as possible. Because when you have a really high price up front, the expectation is also high. And if you don't deliver on that, people might not stick around for the long tail. So I personally don't love it. And I don't know many people doing it quite successfully. Of course, there are, I'm sure, examples, but it might be different niches, right? So one niche where I can imagine it is, for example, we have a PLR library, right? It has over 1,000 done for you digital products. We could make that a higher priced front end cost, right? So we could say you get the whole library for $324. That's a buyout license. And then if you want to have the monthly updates, you're paying a lower monthly fee. We have a low monthly fee. And when people purchase the annual plan, they also get a buyout with it. And that's working better for us. But this is one of the few examples where I could imagine it might be worth testing, flipping it on the head. But with cold traffic, the trust is low, right? So the higher the price, the higher the entry barrier as well. That's why I don't love it with ads. I think it's great if you have a proven high ticket offer, if you have a direct messaging or webinar or challenge or other live launch enrollment system. And then from there, you have a lot of customers that paid a little bit more, and now you have to do something with them to have a continuity offer at the end. I think that makes a lot of sense, but only if you have the front end figured out. Then I think it does make sense. In GWE, it says it's happening in 6 minutes. Let me just see. Oh, yeah. So we need to also open this up for our GWE members. And we're just sharing this there as well. And we're getting our questions there answered too. Okay, thank you so much for making me aware. I love marketing and business, but I grow so tired of repeating myself. How do you stay inspired? Um, how do I stay inspired? I think I just really love what I do. And I think that I always challenge myself to push myself to try new things. And with that, because people are curious about what is she up to it like now, I do get a lot of fresh questions, right? And I can always report from the inside out. So I do have to repeat myself a lot, which I think is part of being an educator. Um, but because I keep pushing myself, I also keep receiving new questions and I keep learning new things, which is, I think, what helps me most to stay inspired is my own growth in this and my own growth in helping people that might struggle specifically, but they really want it. So I do have a few hard nuts that, are personal passion projects to get them unlocked and unstuck. And I feel like it's my own breakthrough and it's my own business when we get someone to solve that problem and to get that funnel to work or to finally get that ad to work. So I do take those things quite personally, and I find really, really great joy in solving those puzzles. I was wondering, what are some ideas around a good audience interest to choose if I'm looking to launch a sales campaign directly towards the time management workshop? In general, I love to test just with the ASC campaign, right? So I just like to keep the targeting completely open. That works best for me on my account. But of course, you can also have some time management interests if you want to target those. I think it's the cleanest, and you can see this. I'm just creating a sales campaign and I just leave it completely open. You need to check your account if Advantage Plus sales campaigns have already been applied here. When you then go further limit the reach of my ads, your detailed targeting ideas like time management, they will only be used as a suggestion, right? So they will always deliver beyond, even if you go further limit the reach of my ads, right? So it's almost like a placebo button in an elevator, which is why I'm not sure if it's particularly useful, right? So you could also have productivity. So if I was to put interests, I would have time management must also match productivity. And then I would map that with must also match self-help, psychology, and book. Those are course buyers typically. And then I would also define this with must match coaching. Because it will go beyond that anyways, at least you're building a little bit of a 3D persona. They must be interested in time management and productivity and self-help and coaching. But again, just be aware that if your account has already been changed, which most accounts have been at this point in time, it's basically a placebo effect that you're having. Awesome. Thank you. I do appreciate the recordings. Thank you for the feedback. I'm really, really sure they do. Hi, so my niche is real estate investing, and my target audience are people looking to quit their 9 to 5. I created a bunch of image ads using ChatGPT frameworks. I ran the ads and they didn't do well. What am I doing wrong? Do we have your ads somewhere in here so we can check them? Let me just go here to the support corner. In an ideal world, just let me see. There you go. If you can post them here for me, that would be great. Then I can check them. And what I need to see from you are the following numbers. I would like you to please select performance and clicks under the presets. And then I would love for you to click all the way here to the ads level and then just slowly scroll through for me so I can see the CTR all, CTR link click rate, cost per link click, amount of link clicks, and cost per click. And I see the quality rankings here. Am I sharing my screen? No. That would be helpful, right? So come in here, go performance and clicks, click all the way through to your ad, and then slowly scroll through so I can see the CTR all, I can see the CTR link click through rate, the cost per link click, the amount of clicks, the CPMs, and the quality rankings. And then I also need to see your actual ad visuals and the copy, and then I can help you to diagnose what the best next step is. And ideally, if you are in the ChatGPT ads course, you just post this under the official feedback corner. I was going to do $9.99 for everything. I currently charge $3,000 to build a custom website for them, and I have an upsell of $497 if they want me to do the website for them. Okay, so it also includes like their complete setup of their website, etc. For a website, I think this is quite reasonable. So do they get like a go high level snapshot? Is that how you're setting it up? Is there monthly cost involved? I would love to know. And also, what is the sales mechanism that you currently have in place? Because for a $9.97 offer, you probably need to close in the DMs or have a sales call, or have some sort of recurring launch like the Almost Evergreen. I have 7 low engaged members. Would you see any issues reverting to free for my first 100 members so I can grow community and learn more about what my members need to also move to school? I think that's a good idea. I would do that because when I now started this new community, I basically had 0 audience, and I really wanted to have the community grow to a point where we have some engagement. And it took me to grow it all the way to 500 free members to have some engagement in there, right? So I think we're underestimating the volume of people that we need in our audience to really have conversations going. So I think it's a good idea to potentially revert and start a community for free. And if you see engagement coming up earlier, then of course you can also turn it paid earlier, especially if also your ads directly to the free community is performing really, really well, then you can sooner test just turning it to paid. Don't make a big fuss about it. Just directly test it with a sales campaign optimizing for purchase. Any thoughts on using ThriveCard versus SamCard? I don't think you've used them. I have used ThriveCard, and I'm using SamCard with my business partner, Jessa. I like ThriveCard because it has low cost and you can do subscription bumps, which is pretty cool. And I like it because you can embed it in WordPress. I think SamCard is cool, but the bump conversion rates and the one-click upsell conversion rates, they're not my cup of tea. And it's really cool if you have a big volume of products. Then SamCard comes in really handy. I personally would choose ThriveCard over SamCard. Thank you so much. What are the best performing creatives for Facebook ads right now? Still before, after infographics? I think the best, so it really depends. I like to think of them of testing them in the following order. The first ones I like to test is mockups. The second one I like to test is ChatGPT image scenes. I like to combine ChatGPT icons and logos and mockup and scenes to create really beautiful mockups. That also works well. Then just the ChatGPT scenes, and I don't think before and after infographic is the only one you can play. If you can be humorous, if you can be cute, if you can be unexpected, that works well because you get a high CTR and you kind of have the scroll stopping effect. So for that, the ChatGPT ads are really good. And after that, I would say different types of short form video where you just show something, etc. But you have to really edit it super fast, which I still think is quite a challenge, which is why I like to start with the voiceover, get the voiceover right, no breathing, no pause, and then just add the visuals to it. So that's kind of the sequence in which I think about it. After that, carousels, or is it called carousels? Yeah, carousels. And those are like really the lower end of the food chain. I really like them for retargeting at the moment right now. Then also all kind of screen sharing videos that are a little bit more organic. So this is the order in which I like to test them at the moment. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. So to explain, Cleara 997 for everything, templates, guide, lead magnet, email sequences. That's amazing. Upsell 147 if they want me to build it out and have a one-to-one consult. Launching 1st of July, so any other advice would be appreciated. We'll need to utilize your group for ads. Been looking for a while. So at this price point, ideally you want to do either a live launch type of event, like a workshop. What I've done in the past, launching into a somewhat similar offer, was when I launched my conversion blueprint funnels together with Jess and Netta. So this is basically a WordPress template solution. Let me just show you the page itself, right? So this is all of the sales funnels I had built over the years on WordPress in Divi. It's a relatively cost-effective solution for people, and the best launch that I ever had for this, which I think is closest to what you are trying to sell, is when we did a 90-minute coaching website workshop. That was a free workshop. So here you see the 90-minute coaching homepage, and then people could sign up. They got some prep work around nailing their niche and developing their offer suite. So they came with full on clarity to the workshop. And in the workshop, we gave them a Canva template and we completely mapped out their whole content for their homepage. And they could really walk away using that Canva website. But of course, we explained them the downsides of using a Canva homepage. And we explained to them that what's the difference between funnel builders and having your own solution on WordPress. And from there, we launched into the conversion blueprint funnels. So that was the best launch we had into it. And it did have the sign up page for organic traffic, but I was basically running a lead generation campaign to this. And the type of ad that you want to run for this is here in the list building course. This ad, set up your campaign, right? But the visual is something along these lines. That's how I launched into it. And this is how I would launch into an offer similar to the one that you just mentioned. Hope this helps. Hi, Hedda, how you doing? Do you still do one-to-one? Is there a premium or done-for-you version of what you offer? Have you ever planned this model on Skool? I have a 1-year-old son, so more than 5 clients seems impossible. I do have a mastermind where it's the closest people can get to working one-to-one with me. We have a scale plan document that we keep throughout the year, and people can put their questions on it, and I'll answer with a personalized feedback. And we have 2 calls per week with me and 2 in-person events per year. That's the closest I currently work with people. And those people in the mastermind, they also have the opportunity to buy paid one-to-one add-ons with me, right? So where it's really us spending a certain time on Zoom working one-to-one on things. That's the closest that people can get to working one-to-one with me. And I do never want to scratch it off my menu completely, because I'm learning also a ton from doing one-to-ones with people. I don't do a done for you because I don't believe that I could do a done for you without taking over, like the complete vision. I really want to empower people to learn these things and bring to life what they truly want to create. My full-time role, managing community, maybe it's a time of life question. I think that one-to-one can become very consuming, and I do understand and appreciate that we want to do it in the beginning because it gives us a lot of financial stability and it gives us a lot of clarity. I personally love the one-to-many offers. So I did start my mastermind because I played the Hormozy 100 and I wanted to follow the instructions and I wanted to be the best student possible. If I could go all the way back in time, I don't think I would do it again the way that I did it. I would probably make an even smaller circle, more curated, because while I love the mastermind at the moment, I'm having 58 people in there, and it is quite a bit of work to have this super high touch support versus Grow with Evelyn. The serving at scale works really, really well there. So when I look at the time that I put in versus the return that I get, Grow with Evelyn is the best vehicle. So in your case, you might want to think about ways to really grow that community and maybe even lower the price further so you have a much higher volume, but also much lower expectations, and you can spend most of your time in your zone of genius where you can create whenever you feel like creating. That was also a main reason for me why I wanted to have a $7 community again and make it also in the B2C niche. This community here that I started, I basically don't promise any type of specific support, any type of specific live, any video feedback. I am just creating content when I feel called to create, when I want to share from my own journey. And this is very, like, feels so extremely sustainable for me, which is also why I can wholeheartedly throw myself in there growing it. And I know I can get this to a place of this is a full-time income, right? Or even more. And so I think sometimes we can trap ourselves with the one-to-one clients because they're paying more like in a lump sum, but it actually also limits our growth because we are taking so much responsibility and charge and part in that we almost would, we're almost living like a part of the life, like it's a big sacrifice because we want to deliver that value, right, and above and beyond. So I think that the low ticket communities, really low ticket, brings a lot of freedom. And sometimes I'm even debating with myself, wanting to lower the price of Grow with Evelyn and kind of going back to even more volume, even less like hands-on stuff, just because it gives more freedom, right? And I can have those creative outbursts and spikes, and I'm not tied to, oh, video feedback, I'm only having 24 hours and I need to quickly do them. So I think it's a matter of partially letting go of those one-to-ones so you can scale into something bigger potentially. All right, so Frankie got a minute tonight to work on my evergreen ads finally. Oh, that's exciting. Thank you. I hope this is helpful. All right, so let me get into a few ads here to give feedback on, and then we also have more questions in Grow with Evelyn. Okay, so you're not too late. I am doing these reviews as often as I can. Please find my feedback around the 57-minute mark. I would be grateful for your review of my ad image. Base copy. Tired of wondering what to teach or where to even start? You're not alone. My 66-year-old mom felt the exact same way a few months ago. I sat across from her at the breakfast. She told me I'm not ready to retire. She wasn't talking about money. She was talking about purpose. She had earned a PhD at 58, raised 3 daughters as a single mom while working full time, and yet here she was. Instead of resting, she felt like she had so much more to give, but no clear path to share it. She didn't want to depend on us financially. She didn't want to keep dipping into her savings. She just wanted to stay mentally sharp, earn on her own terms, and connect with others in a meaningful way. I'd be mindful here. The image is fun, and I'm sure it is scroll stopping. Here are a few things that if we run this through Complyly, it will probably flag it as an implied earnings claim. People turn their life experience into fulfilling. Group programs they love to teach, perhaps like my mom. You also want to teach something online, but you keep hitting the same wall. What would I even teach? You probably read articles, webinars, you've got life experience, but I like the avatar you're going after. That's very smart. No idea how to turn it into something people would pay for, so you keep waiting, wondering. That's why I created a group program idea challenge, a 3-hour self-paced workshop that gives you a clear, simple path. Okay, So first things first, let's run it. Let's see, what we would need to change from the overall idea. Because whenever we are in a BizOp kind of scenario, we want to be extra careful. Same with the health space. Okay, this is actually good. So you can definitely say, I never thought I had anything to offer in illness space. Now I know what to do. It's a general testimonial warning, but you're other than that, good. So please forgive me, I misjudged this. So you did do this well as a storytelling. Copy. Let me just see if we can get to a shorter version of this then. Can we get to a shorter version of this? No hyphens. I would just say my 66-year-old mother felt the same way. To stay sharp, earn on her terms, and have meaningful work. So maybe shorter. Let me also just check mine. Hopefully it's okay. And let me see if we see in the goose some sort of age difference. I would love if there could be an age difference in those two, because it's like you're showing them how to do it. Okay, it only flagged step by step. So we can just say my method, my exact method to find your best idea. So I would just shorten the copy in this regard, and then have the free workshop here. Copy suggestion. And then we need to see the visual. Can you make the goose behind the treasure chest my 66-year-old mom and me a bit younger, and explaining it to her so we really live up to the story we told in copy. We're trying to have it fully congruent. I really appreciate that advice. I didn't really realize just how many communities you run, and the way you structure your mastermind makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Like, honestly, my dream would be, and I'm working on it, I just want to blow up the $7 community. I think it adds just so much life quality, and it's so fun, and it's so, there's so little pressure to deliver in that sense. It's so, let me put it like this, it's so easy to over deliver for $7. It's incredible. Um, so I think there's something so nice about this, right? And especially I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I've, I kind of know how I work and where I drive and what environment I drive in. So for me, that very low stakes is something that I find so freeing and so fun and so desirable. So I can just highly recommend it. Okay, let's see what he came up with. Um, okay, but now how is my... Okay, so remove the hat and the glasses and backpack and make the duck behind the treasure just the one on the left side a duck grandma. Okay, let's work with this a little bit and let's check the next ChatGPT ads in here. Here's the link to my marketing angles. That's the one that you picked. That's completely fine. So we're just testing this one through completely. Now we go to Danielle. I reached the racing mind brain character for our first 3-step sleep well tonight system sales page here. Fall asleep fast. Let me just sharing feedback around the one. Okay, so fall asleep fast and wake up refreshed starting tonight without man's gadgets. Watch the training below to discover a natural science-backed method. Reset sleep well. Yes, I want it. How much is it? I I don't love your checkout. I think your checkout is really confusing. I would go with one or the other and then make the rest the upgrade. I would not lay it out like this. I would go with one or the other, and I would clarify that on the sales page. I think if you check your data, you're probably losing a lot of people there. Go with one option, the one that more people pick. Tame your brain to sleep well tonight. I do like this. I'd probably work this a little bit in Canva. So just because I find this hard to read. And I would go with clarity over being smart. Finally. Oh, let's sleep fast. Wake up refreshed. Starting tonight. That's how I would do it. And potentially you want to mention the price. Right, so if this is the $29 bundle, I would make a smaller entry price. So I would go with the lower price. Something along those lines. This needs a little bit more love here. But I would have the price here on the creative tool. Otherwise, you get cheap clicks, but you can't really assess if the offer is what people wanted. And one thing too is that we want to have congruency between the sales page and the ad as well. So what we actually would need to do here is to establish that congruency by adjusting the colors to be in alignment with the sales page. Otherwise, it will feel like, oh, this is something completely different now. Maybe we can just have $29, but also show your mockup. Let me put this here. So we do show a little bit of rigor around this because it's different when we have a freebie, a free workshop, a free group versus when we have SLO right away. So then we can elevate it a little bit. That's probably the direction I would take this. I don't want to make this too small, so that's why I'm gonna put this up here. I'm cutting this up a little bit, but I can make the font bigger again. I think that's my final verdict of how I would present this. I'm just gonna give you the template link here. So I would try to combine it with a mockup and mention the price. Otherwise, you might get a lot of affordable clicks, but not really buyers. Still scrolling, tame your brain. Here, I think you can have this as the image itself, but I would just remove the text. So you can do this relatively easily. Now this is nice. Now we have our grandma goose as well. And here we can just say remove the text. And then we can test different images in this layout, right? So you would basically just switch up the graphic behind here now. But we need to have the landing page congruency, and people need to abundantly understand that it's a paid offer. So here I'm also going to double down on the story retail and copy. This is a bit too much thinking. I would take this. Your brain deserves a spa day every night. This I think is super cute. I would just have the your brain deserves a spa every night as the ad copy then. We can still keep this here. Covers it up. This we have to keep, otherwise it's too hard to read. So I think this works. This is something we can test. And I think this is worth testing too. I think this works well. So just like this, I would go forward with these. Cost per click is relatively high. Copy is performing well. CTR is also performing well. You do have relatively high cost per click. This is your best copy. Your brain already knows. So this is doing really well. So you want to move forward with this copy here. Okay. I think a big problem, so you do have cheap enough cost per click to be profitable with this. I think the biggest challenges here is that I think people didn't know immediately from the ad visual that it was paid. There is not enough congruency between the offer and the landing page, and I think your checkout is really confusing. So I would unwrap the checkout and I would make sure that you have the ad to landing page congruency. Overall, the cost per click on the ad is cheap enough that it should work. So the goal is to just align it more closely with the sales page. This is your best copy. Your brain already knows how to sleep. You're just getting in the way of it. And see here, for example, we don't have the price of it. So people are clicking on the page, and then the first time they're learning about the price is really here in the checkout. And here I have this super confusing situation. So we need to detangle this. I would advertise the $29 bundle. The rest I would solve in the order bumps. And I would make the price clear on the ad visual and in the ad copy. And yes, you will get a little bit higher cost per click, but they will be much more qualified clickers. And with that, you increase your conversion rates and your chances of sales. This is your best copy. All right, let me check in with you guys. Where can we find the marketing angle stock you just mentioned? I do have that in the training in the ChatGPT ads course. So we have that. Let me just go there. In here, you see audience and ad angles, how I'm explaining it and how I'm breaking this all down. So this is the place where you find it. Or if you are here in Grove, Evelyn, you can find it in this ads course. Sorry, April. Okay. If you could please post it here in the chat, because the question thread for this Q&A actually closed yesterday. So if you can just post it here in the thread or make a post in Skool quickly, then I can catch you from there. I gotta go now. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of the day. All right, so let's catch some more ads. Deanna, I am answering around the 1 hour, 24-minute mark. Okay, so hope I'm not too late. Like I said, I'm trying to come back into the community and do this on an ongoing basis. Sometimes I manage to do it multiple times a month. Sometimes I only get to it once a month. Okay, so would you recommend to post the ad as traffic or sales for my Facebook group community? Okay, so let me see what we have here. The free group you didn't know you needed. Etsy Creator Lab. Okay, it's a free group. So if we want to grow the free group, let me just double check the campaign objective that we need here. I think Which one was this? Let me just see the destinations here. Instagram profile or Facebook page. I know we have a group ad. Let me just double check. Okay, so whenever I've been growing a Facebook group, I did use a lead generation campaign, but I thought that there was a way for us to do it directly. Let me just double check this. So that seems to be only the page, not the group. Maybe it's leads. I thought I can grow a Facebook group directly. Now what campaign objective is it? Because I used to go through the lead forms, not the bridge page, but I thought that there was a way to do it directly. Engagement, okay. Conversion location Facebook group, there you go. It doesn't seem like it lets us do that. Let's try this again. Engagement. Manual. Conversion location, Facebook group is not there. Maybe it's just not there for me. Maybe because under this profile I don't have a group. Let me make a group to figure this out. Groups. Create a group. My group. Woohoo! Public. This is my stepmom's account. Mine is blocked. Okay, so create engagement, continue, manual campaign setup, conversion location. Could be that they have removed this again and it was only available for a short time. I don't see the conversion location, although I have a group. Did they remove it again? Yeah, okay, they offered it and they removed it again. We can try to link it to a page. I think they already appreciated it. Free Etsy group for digital product creators. Okay, in this case, love, I think the best would be to use a lead generation campaign. Etsy Rock this, you just need the right boost. Join the free group where beginners get weekly product trends, Etsy tips, real support, and freebie every Friday. What I would take is I would take one of those freebies or product trends, and I would advertise that with a lead generation campaign. Right? So you actually mock it up. And you can also try to do this for your community directly. So here you see, I also tried this with the leads campaign and not only directly. Directly was a little bit more affordable, but if you can't do directly anymore, then you can do this. You create a lead generation campaign, leads, continue. And then you set your budget. You can start with as little as $10 for this. Then you go with instant forms. And then here's how you are setting up the rest. Instant forms. Just select the countries that you want to have. Right, so I had the top 4 countries here. And then in here, in the ad itself, you add your ad creative. And then you create a form. And on the form, so here you paste your copy, right, and you upload your creative. And then on the form, you have them, hey, where shall I send your invite to our community with the resources? Then they enter their details and you connect it with your email autoresponder. And then on the thank you page, hey, great job. One final step, you won't miss this. Your invite to the community is on the way. Check your email. I also just launched a new, here I sent them to my Instagram account, but in your case, you want to say, click here to join the community now. You also got your invite, click here to join the community now, and you can link your Facebook group here directly. So when we come here, this is so weird. Why would it not let me edit this? Weird, the rest is fine. When you create your form, in the ending here, you can fully customize this, right? Great job, just one more step. Click the link below to request access. You also got it via email. And then when it says go to website, here you can put your group URL and then say join the group now, request to join the group now. And then all you have to do is put in to your new group. Right, so we just created the groups. And then every group has a URL and you can even customize those. And then here you can link to your group and say, join the group now. That's the way in which I would set it up. And I think you want to try different things, advertise the community directly, or, advertise the product trend, advertise the freebie from the Friday to see what ultimately gets you the lowest cost. But you definitely want to use the lead generation campaign. Let me just double check something. So I want to link you this campaign setup in here that you want to use. This is basically how you set up your campaign here. Please test advertising the trends and freebies separately. Please use a leads campaign with instant forms, redirecting to your community. And here's a tutorial. And here's the integration tutorial. And those are the things that you'll need for it. Alrighty, so the karaoke confidence kit hook. Stop hiding in the corner when the mic comes around. Free PDF. I like it. You can also say something like shock everyone at the next karaoke party. Well, everyone sounds like they're torturing the audience. Well, everyone sounds like they're torturing the audience. I like that too. Free checklist plus mini course. I couldn't see it, unfortunately. Recommend. Yeah, there was a phase when Claude was like a little bit bad, so I came back to ChatGPT. But I agree that it's really, really strong. I like to use them to correct each other too. Maybe Rohit, post it in the community. Just make a separate post. I'll keep an eye out for it in Grow with Evelyn, and then I can check your copy and everything. Okay. It's different for different use cases. I like having both. That's my opinion on it. Okay, so next up here, we have FOLA, and we do have some ad numbers here as well. And I am providing feedback around the 1 hour, 40-minute mark. 40, right? Yeah. Okay, please see my Loom video for the detailed results. Here's what I've got so far. Headline: the truth, your job will never make you free. If you're working hard and still broke, something's broken. The professionals and side hustlers out there you're putting in the hours, following the rules, and still not getting ahead. Here's the truth: your job alone will never set you free. The 3-day first deal challenge. Oh yeah, okay. So we got the real estate investing here now, right? The truth: your job will never make you free. Okay. Real estate plan. I like both of the both of the visuals. I just don't love that this is like not centered. So again, this would be something that I take to Canva and just fix the headline. And here we have your job will never set you free. This can be the text, the hook in the ad copy. Yeah, okay, we have this in here, so we don't need to reiterate it. Here we have the 3-day first deal challenge. Okay, I love this. And now let's look at the ad results. Oh, that's very high cost. So one thing that we have here is you did get relatively high cost per click, but people then also didn't opt in here. These didn't really hit. You see the CTR all should be 4%. Comparatively, the copy did okay. Mhm. What's a good deal? Flip mastery plan. Okay. This one got some engagement, so do I need funding first? What's a good deal? Okay, so you see that the angle that actually worked best was going to the very aware person, right? So they already know specific wording, they already thought about funding, etc. So it is a relatively high quality audience that you spoke to that responded to this ad. Learn to make money with real estate investing. Get ready to find and close your first or next deal. You're about to learn how to find off market real estate before everyone else. If you're ready to escape the 9 to 5 grind, learn how to find profitable deals with your budget. So, what I would do to increase the opt in rate here is that I would take this as my ad copy, right? Um, I'm only giving this to those who show up live. Now I'm unsure. Like, did I already miss this? Is this still going on? When is it live? So I'm like confused. And when I'm confused, I'm not signing up. And this worked best for you. You were talking to people that already have, like, do I need funding? What's a good deal? What is that? So this ad worked comparatively the best for you. This was good for a small amount. This also had a decent for it. You didn't get a lot of volume. I think it might be too far away from it. Um, Okay. I would not do the catch thing when you show up live because I don't know when the lives are, and then I'm like, oh, now I'm not getting this thing. So please optimize my 3-day challenge copy, third grade reading level, but professional, specific, serious, and informative, more comprehensive than what I have now, but short sentences. And also, real estate investing is highly competitive, so you do have a very high cost per lead. Obviously, it should be less than what you have, what you learn. Bring in some specific terms they might have researched and have partial familiarity with. Start with this. Start with this and the funding, then go into the days. Don't divide the copy all in one go. Structure it better. Learn how to find off-market deals and fund them. No headlines, just the copy, and now condense it a bit more. With emojis and start the conversation, but get to the point quickly. Really start your invest real estate, but don't know where to begin. In just 3 days, you learn to find off-market deals, analyze ARV, repair costs, and talk to motivated buyers with confidence, even if you've never done a deal before. Whether you want to do wholesale, flip, or build rental income, it starts with finding the right deal and funding it without using your own cash. I just no claims, please. Thinking about getting into real estate investing, but not sure where to start. In this reader, you can explore how to find So in this free challenge, in this 3-day real estate investing challenge, you'll explore how to find off-market properties, estimate ROV, repair costs, and have confident conversations with motivated sellers. Whether you're curious about wholesale, flipping real, it helps you understand how deals actually come together and how they can be funded without relying on savings or credit. Day 1, day 2. Okay, so this is what I would do for the copy, just compliance check it. And then I would also have who is your host, and then the proof packed intro of you. day 1, day 2, day 3. And now we want to add a graphic for it. These are your colors. I think generate an image of a unicorn getting into real estate, stepping on the stairs of 3 days to secure their first deal on top with a building. My brand colors are black and gold and construction site. Okay. So this is a rough copy draft, right? It should be in alignment with your about page. And then let's generate an image for this. Okay, now we still have Melanie and her numbers. Yeah. That was the right decision to turn it off. If we don't have a lead with a lead form with $18 in 24 hours, we need to turn it off. Mm-hmm. The one problem is we need to see performance and clicks columns. Okay, what would be really helpful, Melanie, is if you can share the performance and clicks with me. So I'm just gonna answer this here. Please need to see your performance and clicks column. Because right now I only see the performance, so I don't necessarily know exactly what happened there. So answering around the 1 hour 55-minute mark. In the video, Lovely, I please need you to show me the performance and clicks columns, which are these. Performance and clicks, and then scroll all the way through for me. So performance and clicks, and then scroll all the way through. So I can see these numbers. Now for the ad copy itself, Okay, we have this copy. She didn't know if it was her best move or just another shiny object. The advice around PCOS followers confusing loud, go all natural. Okay, so why is the advice around PCOS so confusing? Go all natural, just take the pill. Don't eat this, don't move like that. Or why has the advice around PCOS, why has it be so confusing? People tell you all different things about the pill, nutrition, movement. It's just overwhelming, right? And then we have, hi, I'm Dr. Melanie. I created a Beyond the Pill to give you clarity. Want clarity, not extremes. Insight you'll get. Bonus free. Click the link and sign up for free now. Okay, so that's for the copy. Just need to fix the grammar. Why is advice around PCOS so confusing? People tell you all sorts of different things about the pill. Nutrition movement is just overwhelming. So we keep this really simple. Just gonna make it green so you know it's from me. And then let's look at your ad visuals here. Just pro answer. So here you see people wouldn't know that this is about PCOS because the picture is beautiful, but it's not necessarily related. So what we want to do is we want to make this clearer. Let me duplicate this. Like the colors, I think they're beautiful. We can use them. That's great. PCOS clarity, free PCOS clarity workshop. Beyond the Pill with Dr. Melanie. What is it if you don't see the forest because of all the trees? How do we say that? You can't see the forest for the trees. So can't see the forest for the trees. And again, we want to say PCOS. Living with, or just PCOS. Okay, it's not perfect, but I'm trying to give you an idea for what we want to do with it, right? So we just want to bring more clarity to what this actually is, and it is a free workshop. And probably we can do the design a little bit nicer, but people need to quicker be clear on what they get, right? So for this, otherwise it's too confusing for them, and then we don't get the signups. So we play with this concept a little bit, make it clear it's a free PCOS clarity workshop. It's Beyond the Pill with Dr. Melanie, and then PCOS, can't see the forest for the trees. We can play with this. We can also have different forest night. Um, you can also have play with different backgrounds here, but I think it should be clean. It should still feel feminine. So I think we need to rethink the visual approach here. I do like the owl because it's the wisdom and she's rising above the trees, but it's not the most ideal layout here. Although I think we could get somewhere with this concept. But the reason why it didn't convert was because it was unclear. It was confusing. Okay? So we dumb it down and we clarified it. I added the copy and I also will add the visual for you here. Okay, so what do we have next? Just one more question. If you want to target a specific type of health coach, which I am, how would you go about this in the ads? I would call them out, right? So I would, in general, target people that are interested in coaching, must also match self-employment. Since Advantage Plus campaigns are most likely already rolled out on your account, you cannot specify any further, right? So it's a little bit our placebo button in the elevator, but you want to call them out, right? So you want to say, as a IHP coach, I know, right? And that's how you call it out, by just starting your hook in the ad. with, me as a IHP coach have struggled with this, and I'm helping others, and I know others are struggling with this. So this is why I created this solution. So you basically create the filter through the copy, and Facebook does scan your copy, so it will use it as a clue, as in who to target. Evelyn, you are looking at my ads. I'm running them as sales, not leads. I run a live challenge every 3 weeks. Good catch, and make the updates. Okay, perfect. I'm always still live. Like when I'm live, I don't stop being live. It's just too many questions. What are your thoughts on the ad copy? I gave you a new ad copy, my love. So I shared the ad copy ad record. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still replying. So I have a copy draft for you. And here, let me see. It puts the finishing touches. Secure first deal, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So this is going in the right direction. Change it to the bottom. Day 1, then day 2, and then day 3. Make a construction side band around it like a frame, and celebrate the first deal with party poppers in the colors that go with it, and a different font so the design looks a bit more polished. Let's see what it does here. I'm just publishing the ad copy now for you, so you can already use this. All right, so I need to check, and I need to check when I need to be live again. So I do have my mastermind call starting at 9:30, so I need to speed up giving some answers here. So do you think I could do one ad as targeting IHPs and another one just generic health coaches? Absolutely. Sorry, Evelyn, can you just give me some tips on how to lower the cost? I had to turn off all the ads. I would not turn these ads on again. I would test a new batch of ads, and you'd want to always test in small test balloons. So I don't want you to spend on those more than $15 a day for 3 days max, right? So keep the test balloons really, really short and run more iterations. Try to tie the visual really into the offer, right? So when we're thinking about the first deal, we need to see the houses on there. We need to see the construction site, and simplify the copy and align the copy on the ad with the copy on the about page, because you did get clicks, but then you didn't have a lot of signups, and there was not enough congruency between the ad and your about page. So those are tips with which you can lower the costs on the ads. All right, so let me come in here again, and I do have a few pre-submitted questions here that I need to take care of. All right, so this I already answered before. We already answered this one. Okay. I'm now seeing this pin thread as I asked this question earlier in a general post. My apologies. Okay, so thanks for okay, so pricing products. Is there a beginner's training on how to price products? I'm not sure. I also lost track of what we have here, what products you have in mind. Okay, PDFs. Okay, so I'm answering this around the 2 hour and 11-minute mark. Okay. So PDF-based checklist, workbooks, ebooks, resource guides, printables are for me single digital product characters. I'm more seeing them as freebies rather than as self-liquidating offers. Self-liquidating offers are micro solutions that often contain multiple components, like the video training with the checklist and the templates. They're solving a specific problem. If it just has single digital product character, it's in the low dollar, like $1 or $2 amount, and it would be better to use it as a freebie or to sell it separately standalone on Etsy. So ideally, you have a complete solution around it. Now, mini courses can be part of the solution. I like to combine the mini course with the template, the workbook, the checklist, again, to make it a solution. When it's a mini solution, we want to have a front-end product. Ideally, it's priced below $10. When we have a masterclass or a workshop that, again, ideally is accompanied by a resource, I like to use them as order bumps, and order bumps I like to price between $17 to $37. Memberships can start anywhere around $5 and go all the way up to $99 is the easy, like the price point where you can still sell it with one-to-many. After that, you typically need some sort of launch mechanism, direct messaging sales mechanism, sales call mechanism. So you can still sell higher priced memberships, but you are more in the traditional sales game than you are in a marketing game. VIP communities, for me, my VIP community is $1,000 a month. That's my mastermind. I would consider everything from $197 a month plus a VIP community. Templates and toolkits, Trello board templates, Canva templates, docs, etc. Again, it depends on the solution and where you want to put it in the funnel. Same for the audio visuals. So, you can also have big bundles with those that are front-end products and apps and softwares. It really depends on the utility. So I would not think in containers. I would think in solutions and where you strategically want to place those solutions in your business. I will sometimes sell something for $7 that's worth significantly more because strategically I want to have it in the front end of my funnel because I can get the most people in, right? And then I will sometimes sell something as an order bump that is not as attractive as a front-end product. And even if you look at it, people would say, oh, this was not as amazing as the front-end product for $27 because it's still worth that and it adds the average order value there for me. So in pricing, I like to think in audience growing offers and money-making offers. Audience growing are freebies and front-end offers and order bumps. And money-making offers are memberships that are recurring, that are above $10, and VIP days and mid-ticket to high-ticket courses and group coaching programs and masterminds. So I like to think about it like what strategic meaning does it have for me and how much value does it provide? And when I think of the value that it provides, I don't think about how much time or effort I put into it. I think how big of a problem is it solving and how complete is it solving the problem. Plus, I also take into account how much access does it have to me and how many service components. So I just don't look at it purely from a container perspective. I look at it from a funnel perspective. I look at it from a utility perspective, like the market value, and how many unscalable components I have in there, like access to me or access to service components. I do appreciate this question, though. I have a really different kind of view on it, I think, than many other people. All right, so then we have next Emily Hamlin, and I'm answering around the 2-hour and 16-minute mark. Okay, my current situation is I'm spending $500 per week on Facebook ads running to my workshop, which I live post every 2 weeks. Sometimes I only break even, other times I make money. In May, my business generated $4,000 revenue, but I took home less than $400. My biggest expense is Facebook ads. I can't cut any other funding. Here's my ad stats. You need to have a downsell offer. Your cost per lead is super reasonable. For workshop leads, the spend that you have and the way you convert. I'm not concerned there. When you want to do just website leads, you need to do when you want them to go through a website, not the lead form, you need to select the leads, and then the conversion location is the website. So that's what you're trying to do here. Instead of leads, the instant forms, you're going here to website. And then you need to select your pixel. And then the optimization event is lead. That's other than the instant forms. Oh, sorry. Now I didn't share my screen again. So we need to go with leads. And then here we have, instead of instant form, website, and then you select your pixel and leads. So your cost per lead is good. I also tried to downsell after I closed cart. Okay, so that was what I would suggest. Zero purchase the downsell. So this does not seem to be the right type of downsell. That does not mean that the downsell doesn't work. This means that this was not the right downsell offer. This will massively, massively drive up your cost per lead. I just showed you this. You can select the website also with the tailored leads campaign, because I can only do tailored. So you should also be able to do that. If you send them through the website, your CPL will go up 100%. I definitely would work with a downsell, and it just needs to be a one that is better aligned. And it can also have an order bump there. And I think because you're getting so many people in there, a SLO might be a really good idea too. So you can at least downsell them into the SLO after as well. So what I would do now is you do have this downsell that did not convert. So we need a different downsell anyway. Conceptualize it as a SLO so we can also test it on the front end. Make sure we have the order bump, we have an order bump there. Yeah, we need to have a downsell offer for sure. Downsell offer needs to be higher priced than the SLO. So scratch what I just said. Downsell offer ideally should be 27-ish. Maybe there's something you can do from your past summits. So it should be some sort of solution bundle. And then we should also work on SLO, but that's the next step. The first step is to really get the downsells to click. That will be the most important piece of the puzzle. Just posted a question feedback Q&A. Okay, I will catch it right now. I'm answering around the 2-hour, 22-minute mark. Okay, so I have created 2 rough offers, lead magnet ideas for my singing community. Offer 1, karaoke confidence kit. Stop hiding in the corner when the mic comes around. I would probably, this is not so pain point oriented. I would more go towards gaining joy. So I would go towards shock everyone. Karaoke hero blueprint while everyone else sounds like torturing the audience. This goes more in the direction, I would say, shock everyone when it's your turn to sing. Yeah, perfect. And you can also directly advertise your school community, right? So you can say this free checklist is inside my community where you learn to sing. So I would directly advertise the community as a first step. You want to come here and you want to build out your first ad for it and basically run a free school campaign. This is your first ad. Run a free school campaign and say that they are getting the checklist inside the community, but advertise the community. And then you need to run a sales campaign that optimizes for complete registration. And I would have the angle into it, the initial hook would be shock everyone when it's your time to sing. That's how I would frame it. Because it's not really about avoiding like the pain point, it's about, gaining the joy and being able to do that. All right, so we do have a few more questions in here. I do have 5 more minutes, so some of them I will have to follow up with video feedback. Let me just go here to a few more if I can. It's 2-hour 24-minute mark. Okay, so my current situation is I started running a lead generation campaign free webinar to sale of $47 membership, or if they don't take it down, so to $3.99 ebook. My desired situation is to break even to start. My question is, what should I expect for this lead campaign and what time frame? Let's say 100 people have gone for the entire email sequence, which is 3 days to watch the webinar, the upsell. What percentage should I expect, would you say, should buy the 47 and the $3.99 ebook? On both order pages, I have free bumps, $17 workshop, $57 opportunity. Follow-up question. After starting the ads, I became aware of the way to improve the webinar and sales pitch so I can nail my messaging better. It would take me at least 4 to 5 days to change everything over. If the current ad stats are decent, do you recommend I pause the ad until everything is changed over or just let it run? I would potentially pause the ad. And from 100 people going through, I want to see one sale of the $47 product, which, when we are working with this lead campaign, would still be a good result. And considering the customer lifetime value, that would also be a good result. And then we would have a first starting point for the numbers, right? So we really need to see how everything fits together. But after the first 100 people have gone through, we want to see the first sale. So I would pause the ads now. I would make the amendments. Then I would let the first 100 people go through. And then I would pause. And then I would take an inventory of all of the stats. And then we can really see how the numbers are playing together and funnel front to back, where we have the biggest opportunity for optimization. All right, so we have a few more here. So I need to tag running out on time on this Q&A and we'll follow up tomorrow with Molly, Rochelle, Jamila, Okay, so I have to hop off because I have a follow-up call, but I'll make sure to answer the remaining ones tomorrow for you guys. And I'm going to link and then we have our answers post. So I'm gonna follow up with the remaining ones tomorrow. All right, thank you so much for having been on with me tonight. I have to go, unfortunately. And yeah, I will see if I can live stream tomorrow. If not, I will follow up with Loom with the remaining questions. And yeah, I can't wait to catch up with you in the next live. And thank you so much for being here. See you soon. Bye for now.